Welcome friends. In this session on bioinformatics in drug designing, we can discuss on the structure-based drug design. Drug discovery and development is very expensive and time-consuming process. Traditional approaches to drug discovery rely on a stepwise synthesis and screening of large number of compounds to identify a potential candidate. Over the past 10 to 20 years, there is an increased effort to apply computational power to the combined chemical and biological space in order to streamline drug discovery, design, development and optimization. Computational methods are expected to play an imperative role in understanding the specific molecular recognition events of the target macromolecule with candidate hits leading to the design of improved leads for the target. Computer-aided drug design or in silico approaches have been widely employed in lead identification and lead optimization stages of drug development against various targets over the years. In comparison to the traditional drug discovery methods, rational drug design methods bring down the time and cost involved in the drug development process. It can be used to identify or design new inhibitors de novo or for optimization of absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion and toxicity profile of identified molecules from various sources. Advances in computational techniques and hardware have facilitated the application of in silico methods in the discovery process. Based upon the target and ligand, drug design can be categorized as two types: structure-based drug design (SBDD) and ligand-based drug design (LBDD) as shown in the table. The field of structure-based drug design is a rapidly growing area in which many successes have occurred in recent years. The explosion of genomic, proteomic and structural information has provided hundreds of new targets and opportunities for future drug-led discovery. This chapter summarizes the process and various methods of structure-based drug design. Structure-based drug design or SBDD. The rapid advances in structural biology, especially in the field of X-ray crystallography after 1950s, helped in elucidating a large number of protein structures with considerable accuracy. Along with the advances in computational field in representing these structures and in simulating target ligand binding, computational drug discovery techniques began to emerge in early 1980s. Structures of many important disease targets like COX2 were made available for the biologist, and it enabled them to search for chemical compounds that structurally fit to these targets. Structure-based design refers specifically to finding and complementing the 3D structure, that is binding and or active site of a target molecule such as a receptor protein. SBDD is also known as receptor-based or target-based drug design. So, the prerequisite for SBDD is the availability of target structure either through experimental or computational methods. Once we have this structure and information about the active site, we can either search the available chemical space for a ligand that geometrically fit into it, or can design an entirely novel one. SBDD is considered as a direct approach as we take into the account the three-dimensional structure of the target directly, while the ligand-based design is considered as indirect as the structure features of non-ligands are used to create an idea about the unknown structure of the active site. For example, some drugs that derived from structure-based approaches are Ageron's AIDS drug nelfinavir in the brand name Viracept is one of the drugs on the market that can be traced directly to structure-based methods as shown in the figure. Capoten targets ACE isolated in 1981 used against as hypertension. Trusop targets carbonic anhydrase used for glaucoma as shown in the figure. Overview of the process. Drug design that relies on the knowledge of the three-dimensional structure of the biomolecular target is known as structure-based drug design. The process of structure-based drug design is an iterative one as shown in the figure and often proceeds through multiple cycles before an optimized lead goes into phase 1 clinical trials. The first cycle includes the cloning, the purification and structure determination of the target protein or nucleic acid by one of the 3 principal methods like X-ray crystallography, NMR or homology modeling. Using computer algorithms, compounds or fragments of compounds from a database are positioned into a selected region of the structure. Here the selection of the compounds can be based on pharmacophore mapping or QSAR-VS. These compounds are scored and ranked based on their steric and electrostatic interactions with the target site, and the best compounds are tested with biochemical assays. In the second cycle, structure determination of the target in complex with a promising lead from the first cycle, one with at least micromolar inhibition in vitro, reveals sites on the compound that can be optimized to increase potency. Additional cycles include synthesis of the optimized lead, structure determination of the new target, that means the lead complex, and further optimization of the lead compound. After several cycles of drug design process, the optimized compound usually show marked improvement in binding and often specificity for the target. The overview of SBDD process is shown in the figure. Various methods in SBDD. Current methods for structure-based drug design can be divided roughly into 2 main categories. The first one is molecular docking. As to structure-based drug design, molecular docking is the most common method which has been widely used ever since the early 1980s. Programs based on different algorithms were developed to perform molecular docking studies, which have made docking an increasingly important tool in pharmaceutical research. Various excellent reviews on docking have been published in the past, and many comparison studies were conducted to evaluate the relative performance of the programs. The process of identifying a small molecule from chemical databases relies mainly on the computational technique to simulate its binding with the target. The molecular docking approach can be used to model the interaction between a small molecule and a protein at the atomic level, which allow us to characterize the behavior of small molecules in the binding site of target proteins, as well as to elucidate fundamental biochemical processes. It is all about how 2 molecules fit together. In simple terms, it can be considered as a lock and key problem in which there is a search for a key among many which is suitable for a specific lock. Not only the structure of the key, but the relative orientation of the key with that of the lock also taken into consideration. As shown in the figure, the drug SAHA docked into the active site of HDA-C8, an anti-cancer target. The early elucidation for the ligand receptor binding mechanism is the lock and key theory proposed by Fischer, in which the ligand fits into the receptor like lock and key. The earliest reported docking methods were based on this theory, and both the ligand and the receptor were treated as rigid bodies accordingly. Then the induced fit theory created by Koshland takes the lock and key theory a step further, stating that the active site of the protein is continually reshaped by interactions with the ligands as the ligands interact with the protein. This theory suggests that the ligand and receptor should be treated as flexible during docking. Consequently, it could describe the binding events more accurately than the rigid treatment. Considering the limitation of computer resources, docking has been performed with a flexible ligand and a rigid receptor for a long time and remains the most popular method in use. Recently, many efforts have been made to deal with the flexibility of the receptor. However, flexible receptor docking, especially backbone flexibility in receptors, still presents a major challenge for available docking methods. In our study, we propose a local move Monte Carlo, that is LMMC approach, as a potential solution to flexible receptor docking problems. Knowing the location of the binding site before docking processes significantly increases the docking efficiency. In many cases, the binding site is indeed known before docking ligands into it. Also, one can obtain information about the sites by comparison of the target protein with a family of proteins sharing a similar function or with proteins co-crystallized with other ligands. In the absence of knowledge about the binding sites, cavity detection programs or online servers, for example, GRID, Pocket, SurfNet, PASS and MMC can be utilized to identify putative active sites within proteins. Docking without any assumption about the binding site is called blind docking. Docking, in other terms, is the prediction of conformation of the intramolecular complex. The docking process involves two basic steps: prediction of the ligand conformation as well as its position and orientation within these sites, which are usually referred to as pose, and assessment of binding affinity. These two steps are related to sampling methods and scoring schemes respectively, which will be discussed in the theory section. So, the basic objective of molecular docking is to find out the best orientation of a ligand with respect to a given orientation of the target. Unlike the lock and key example, actually both the conformation of the ligand and target will be modified during the binding in order to form a stable complex. Next is rigid and flexible docking. The earlier docking programs considered both the ligand and target as rigid bodies. That is, a particular conformation of the ligand was docked against a particular conformation of the target. In contrast, most of the present day programs allow complete ligand flexibility and partial target flexibility. That is, the programs can take into account all possible conformation for a ligand and allow side chain flexibility of the target. Considerable target flexibility is still a dream way ahead due to the complexity of the calculation and requirement of computational power. Some of the important terms used in molecular docking are as follows. Conformation. Conformation is a particular spatial arrangement of atoms in a molecule. A single molecule can have lot of different conformations based on the number of rotatable bonds, fragments, etc. Parameters like bond stretch, bond bend, etc. add on to these conformations. Next is binding mode, the orientation of a particular conformation of a ligand with respect to a particular conformation of the target. Pose. A pose is a binding mode with some interesting characteristics such as formation of hydrogen bonds, close contacts, etc. Next is search space, which includes all possible conformations of ligand and target with respect to each other. Such a search space would be very huge, and most of the docking programs limit the search space by various strategies. The next term is scoring. Scoring is the evaluation of a particular binding mode, that is, the assessment of how good a particular pose is. Ranking, which is the classification of hit molecules based on the scoring. Next, we can go through the mechanics of docking. The molecular docking technique has two components, a search algorithm and a scoring function. Various tools available for docking differ in both. As we have seen, docking is the simulation of binding between two molecules. The search space is composed of all possible conformation of ligand and receptor with respect to each other. Such a search space is too huge to be computed, and the search algorithm helps to sample this space based on certain criteria. Even if the search space is limited, there may be lot of binding modes. Which all binding modes are of our interest? The scoring functions try to answer this by evaluating the goodness of the fit. Search algorithm. Conformations of ligand and protein involve all rotatable bonds, bond bending, protein side chains, etc. Sampling of all these conformations for a docking run is almost impossible. So, the search algorithms try to sample the conformational space in a meaningful way. There are various search algorithms like rigid body docking, which search for orientation of ligand and target with minimum energy, and genetic algorithms that make an initial sampling and then make random changes to make more and more generations of conformations. Other algorithms like Monte Carlo method and simulated annealing are also used by various tools. The next is scoring function. Scoring functions take a particular conformation or pose and provides a score indicating the goodness of fit. The scoring functions take into consideration different parameters like energy of interaction, electrostatics, van der Waals interactions, hydrogen bonds, hydrophobic interactions, etc. to calculate the fitness. There are different scoring functions like shape and chemical complementary scores, empirical scoring, force field scoring, knowledge based scoring, etc. Next is docking tools. Some of the well known tools are, the first one is Argus Lab. An Argus Lab is a molecular modeling, graphics and drug design program developed by Mark Thompson. It is freely available at http://www.arguslab.com. It has a very good graphical user interface which allows users to easily manipulate the structures. User can select the binding site of the target based on prior information. The program allows both rigid and flexible docking, but only for the ligands. The next is GOLD. GOLD or GOLD is the acronym for Genetic Optimization for Ligand Docking. It is one of the widely used commercial tools for virtually screening large ligand libraries. It allows complete ligand flexibility and protein side chain flexibility. It has two major scoring functions called GOLD score and Chem score. While the former takes into account the geometric fitness, the latter evaluates binding energy. The next is AutoDock, which is another widely used software for molecular docking. It is freely available for academic usage. AutoDock uses a search algorithm which is a combination of Monte Carlo and simulated annealing. It also allows complete ligand flexibility and protein side chain flexibility. There are a large number of other tools available for both protein-protein and protein-ligand docking. Hex, Haddock, Gramex, etc. can be used for protein-protein docking, while Glide, Flex, Molegro, etc. for protein-ligand docking. The next we can go through de novo drug design. The second category of SBDD is de novo design, in which an entirely novel molecule is first theoretically built based on the structure of the target active site. De novo is a Latin expression meaning from the beginning. Active site of drug targets, when characterized, form a structural point of view will shed light on its binding features. This information of active site composition and the orientation of various amino acids at the binding site can be used to design ligands specific to that particular target. Computational tools that can analyze protein active site and suggest potential compounds are extensively used for de novo design methods. In this method, ligand molecules are built up within the constraints of the binding pocket by assembling small pieces in a stepwise manner. These pieces can either individual atoms or molecular fragments. The key advantage of such a method is that novel structures not contained in any database can be suggested. Once the theoretical molecule is found to have interesting properties, it is then chemically synthesized and tested. There are different methods in de novo design like fragment assembly, sequential grow and stochastic optimization. In fragment assembly, chemical fragments that match with different regions of active site are initially placed in respective regions. Later, these fragments are linked together by a template structure so as to make a complete ligand. This method is known as outside-in method. Sequential grow is another de novo approach in which an initial seed, that means a fragment that matches well with a specific region of active site, is placed in the active site and ligand is progressively built from the seed. Building ligand can be inside out or outside in based on the location of the active site selected for seeding. This method is known as inside out method. In stochastic optimization, an initial ligand is placed in the active site and the functional groups of it are modified continuously. During each change, the fitness of the ligand with the active site is evaluated. In the figure, approaches to de novo design, the first one is outside in and B inside out is shown. As structural genomics, bioinformatics and computational power continue to explode with new advances, further successes in structure-based drug design are likely to follow. Each year, new targets are being identified, structures of those targets are being determined at an amazing rate, and our capability to capture a quantitative picture of the interactions between macromolecules and ligands is accelerating. Structure-based drug design is a powerful method, especially when used as a tool within an armamentarium for discovering new drugs led against important targets. After a target and a structure of that target are chosen, new leads can be designed from chemical principles or chosen from a subset of small molecules that scored well when docked in silico against the target. After a preliminary assessment of bioavailability, the candidate leads continue in an iterative process of re-entering structural determination and re-evaluation for optimization. Focus libraries of synthesized compounds based on the structure-based lead can create a very promising lead which can continue to phase 1 clinical trials. Assignments. Briefly explain the overall process of structure-based drug design. The second one is discuss various methods in SBDD. Briefly explain mechanics of docking and their tools. Here are some books for references. Molecular Drug Targets and Structure-Based Drug Design, A Holistic Approach by Shailja Singh, Balwant Kumar Malik, Durlabh Kumar Sharma, Bioinformation in 2006. The Process of Structure-Based Drug Design, Chemistry and Biology by Amy C. Anderson in 2003. Structure-Based Drug Discovery by Leach, Andrew R., Haran and Jyoti in 2007. Recent developments in de novo design and scaffold hopping by Moser H., Guba W. in 2008. Recent developments in structure-based drug design by Kleb G. in 2000. Hope this session was informative. We will come back with another session. Till then, bye.